Italian Cooking, where you see cooking from my point of view. Today we're making chicken liver pate. Now I've heard chicken liver pate is a French food, it's an Italian food. All I know is when I go to an Italian restaurant, I can order this. So I'm calling it Italian for this recipe. This is one of my favorites. I have made it one other time prior to recording it on this video, but it's one I've been wanting to capture for quite a while. Love the flavor, love the texture, great on crostini, so let's get started.
So let's take a look at the ingredients for our chicken liver pate. I have about, I don't know, 3 cloves of garlic. You can do more or less depending on your garlic palate. I have 2 anchovy fillets. 3/4 teaspoon of crushed sage. 2 tablespoons of capers rinsed. I'd say about a tablespoon of dried parsley. I've got a pound or so of chicken livers here. We're going to use about half of this sweet onion, and I have 1 cup of wine. I want to move a few things out of the way, and we're going to start with our chicken livers. Now our chicken livers, when they come, they're pretty much clean. I did go ahead and rinse these in the sink real quick. I'm going to grab another little bowl here real quick. I'm going to show you how to prepare your chicken livers. Got a little piece of the garlic in there. Now, there is some connective tissue here, and all we're going to do, we don't want this connective tissue. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to use my kitchen scissors, and we're going to get rid of that connective tissue. We're also, little bits of fat, like this, we're going to get rid of. Of course, we need to really get it in our bowl. So we're just going to pick up each little piece of liver, snip off the connective tissue on each one of them, and then we'll move on to the next step. Sometimes on your liver, you'll actually find, I think that's a kidney. I don't know what that is, if it's a gallbladder or the kidney, but I ain't eating it, so I'm going to get rid of that too. See here, that's a good representation of the connective tissue. It can be very sinewy. We don't want to eat that. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh my gosh, my bowl's about full. Thankfully, I have enough. Again, is that a gallbladder? Is that a liver or a kidney? I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments what that was, but I'm not eating it. Alright, so now what I got to do is sterilize a little bit, and we'll move on to our next step. So our next step, we're going to go ahead and crush our garlic here and get this ready. We're just going to kind of mince this down. I'm not going to worry about making it too terribly small because you'll see the very last step. We're going to put all this in the food processor anyway. And that is probably, again, good enough. Not worried about getting them too small, because food processor is going to take care of that for us. So now, I'll push this out of the way. Actually, what I'm going to do is scrape it into this bowl. These onions are going to go into the same bowl with the garlic. Alright, our onion. Let's use half. We're going to use half of this onion. This is just a Vidalia onion. Nothing special, just a regular old sweet onion. We'll give these a quick chop. Same thing, not too worried about making tiny pieces because the food processor is going to do most of that work for us. Just the skin there, get that out of the way. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and put these in our bowl as well. Alright, I kind of feel like I want a little bit more onion. You know, I tell you, a lot of cooking is going by your gut. I want a little bit more onion, so I'm not going to use this entire half, but I got to get some more. I look at my bowl and it don't feel right. That was a little bit smaller than I wanted, so we're just going to use maybe half of this one. We'll leave those bits and pieces there. Got what I wanted. That's what I want. Perfect amount. So my eyes are starting to water. I'm having a bad day. Okay. I'm going to let the stage hands clean this mess up. Hey, honey. I'm going to go ahead and get set up over to our stove, and we're going to start cooking these chicken livers. I have a couple tablespoons of my olive oil over medium-high heat, just because I want to get it going. So I'm going to put my anchovies in there. Come on out. You know you want to. And we're going to start getting those to break up a little bit. Anchovies just over heat and oil will just kind of melt, really. Once my oil starts coming up to heat, you can see here, as I kind of stir them around, you can kind of see they're starting to break up. I'm going to turn that heat down now. It's getting a little hot. Go ahead and put my onions and my garlic in as well. And we're going to let this just cook for over medium heat, maybe just a tad below medium. We're going to let this cook for 4 or 5 minutes or until my onions start to come translucent. So our onions are pretty much ready. They're pretty much translucent. So now what we are going to do is we're going to put our chicken liver right in here. We're also going to add our parsley and our sage. We'll get this all mixed around here. And we're going to let this cook for about 4 or 5 minutes. We'll say 5 minutes. I'm going to stir this frequently, and that should mean our livers, after about 5 minutes, our livers will be half done, give or take. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this stirred up really good. And then we're going to let this cook. So this looks pretty good. I'm excited about it. I like chicken livers. I like this chicken liver pate. It's not for everyone. Not everybody likes it. That's okay. This won't be one of my highest viewed videos, but if you love chicken liver pate, make sure that's not hot before you lean on it. You're going to like this one. This still has a couple minutes left. We're going to let it go. So my chicken livers have been sizzling away for about 5 minutes. You can see here they're about half done. Perfect. This is exactly how we want them. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add our 1 cup of a dry white wine. We're going to turn our heat up to right around medium high. We'll get all this stirred together, and we're going to let this sizzle away for 4 minutes. Now this is going to do 2 things. Okay, it's going to do a couple things. Who are we kidding? It's going to do more than a few things. One, the wine is going to flavor our chicken liver pate, which is what we want. Also, 4 minutes is going to give enough time for that alcohol to boil off, which doesn't take much time at all. Thirdly, our wine will now also reduce by about half. So medium-high heat, 4 minutes, and then we're going to be ready to put this in our food processor. Keeping our tradition alive for forgetting an ingredient. Now, I didn't forget this ingredient when we were doing our review. I forgot to put them in. Capers. You want to go ahead and put those in now. Let them do their job. Let that brininess get clear through our dish. Ooh, when I put them in there, the smell of that wine coming together with these onions, these chicken livers, now the briny capers. This is going to be a good dish. You can already see this is starting to reduce. Still have another couple minutes though. My chicken livers have been simmering away here. You can see that the wine has reduced. These chicken livers are done. So what we're going to do is we're going to get repositioned back over at our island there because we are going to put these in a food processor. So let me get my cameras all moved around, lights repositioned, and then we'll move on to the next step. We're set back up. I have my food processor. Got my nice little blade. Now the next step, if we can do this without burning ourselves and without making too much of a mess, this whole concoction, liquid and all, goes in our food processor. Get all the bits and pieces, all the capers, all the onions, every little bit of garlic you can, because that's going to all add to the flavor. Now, make sure you got your lid on good and tight. You do not want this hot mess flying everywhere. Now, next step, we're just going to turn this thing on, let it go, don't make a mess. Okay, let's check it, see what we got. We'll grab a spoon here. I'm hoping that this isn't too liquidy. Oh, I'll tell you what, it looks pretty good. You can see, maybe you can see. It looks a little thin. Show you here, let me zoom in real quick. It kind of does look a little thin. but I think it's going to be okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to scrape all this out, put it in a bowl, put it in the refrigerator, and let it, well, first I'm going to let it cool to room temperature. Then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and let it chill down. I like my chicken pate cold. And that's going to thicken it up a little bit. Hopefully. I think it will. I think it's going to work. It's going to be fine. We're going to see. Put this in a bowl, let it cool to room temperature, then I'll cover it, I'll put it in my refrigerator, let it chill down. So the next step is going to be to, once it's cool, we're going to toast some bread on our graticola. Our chicken liver pate has chilled down, but if we're going to try it, we got to have some good crostini, some good toasted bread. So what I did is I have a nice Italian bread. I sliced it up, brushed it lightly with some olive oil. So now what we're going to do, I have my crostini on my stove, pop, 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 pop goes the igniter, and turn your heat on high. The graticola, you can see I have a video on my YouTube page about what is a graticola, but it's made for crostini. And it only takes a minute or two to get your crostini. The thing I love about this graticola is it's got a bunch of holes in it where all the kind of the fire creeps up through, and in just a second or two it makes your bread kind of smoky. It just gives it such a unique flavor, and that's what we want for our chicken liver pate. See, that quick, and it already starts to kind of put some color on your bread. You got to keep an eye on it because it goes quick. You can see there on that piece of bread, it's already getting a little black, and that's okay. That's kind of the way I like them. This pan is paper thin, so it really doesn't take much time at all. Look at that piece already. Just love this graticola. It is so, it's just perfect. Paper thin, hard to clean, but if you eat a lot of crostini, look at that one. Oh, that one's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this bread. You can see it doesn't take very long at all to get just a tiny little bit of color, and that's all we need is a little bit of color, a little bit of smoke, adds a whole lot of flavor to our bread. We are going to be eating chicken liver pate very, very soon. I finished toasting up all my bread. Wonderful color in just a second or two on that graticola. Get one. Oh, look at that. It's probably kind of hard to see, but you know, I was worried that it was a little too thin, but after it cooled, it tightened right up. Let's get a glob of that right there on our bread. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you're plating this up for a party or you got friends over, finish it with a few little capers on top. But this, oh my gosh, it smells so good. You get a hint of the onion, the spices, oh, just a little bit of the garlic.
It's good.
Oh, wow. I'll tell you, the white wine, you can taste that. It's like layers. As it moves back your tongue, you get a different flavor. You know, of course, the chicken liver is coming out. It's very pronounced. You get the sweet onion, the white wine, a tiny little bit of the caper. But this is absolutely incredible. That is good. I love chicken liver pate. My good friend Chef Nicola makes the best chicken liver pate. This is good, but it just doesn't hold a candle to his. Actually, this is very good, but his is outstanding. So, but anyway, I love this. This is great. This is a great starter for a meal. Highly recommend the chicken liver pate. Get a graticola. Quick way to do your crostini as well. With that, thank you so much for watching POV Italian Cooking. My puppy needs out, so follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. And don't forget, most importantly, click that subscribe button in YouTube. Thank you so much. Gotta let my puppy out, and ciao.